Hello everybody, this is Virginia from the Rustic Skillet, and I'm out here enjoying the weather finally. It's been so brutally cold that this is the first day in like 2 weeks that we've been able to enjoy the weather. And I'm sitting out here with Jack and the chickens. And this is very scary sitting out with that rooster here. He's a mean one. I normally would be definitely afraid because he is brutal, and those spurs that he has on his feet have to go. We're going to be removing them before too long because they're just getting way too long. And in this episode, we're going to be discussing sourdough starters. So here we go. Come on in the cabin and let's discuss the sourdough where it's warmer than outside. Well, hello. Welcome to the cabin. It's warmer in here. Yes, and in the last video, I had staples in my head from skin cancer surgery. Look, it's better now. Probably leave a scar. My head's numb. Oh well, whatever. But on to better and happier times. Sourdough starter. Look. Wow. And this one here is called the Black Death. Ooh, it's over 400 years old. And I think it's from like the Black Plague era or something. I don't know, but it's survived. Over 400 years old. And I bought this from the Sourdough Company. And they have a site on Etsy and eBay and another site. But look at that. Look how live that is. I mean, wow. This is after 5-6 days, something like that. I filmed the whole process of me feeding it and everything, so that'll be coming up next. And I've got one more coming. I've got another one. I got the one so far, it's from San Francisco. It's from the same company. And then I got another one coming. It's called the Beast of sourdoughs. Starter. I'm excited, so I'm going to do an experiment between this one, the San Francisco, and the Beast. I'm going to cook 3 different loaves of bread and see which one tastes better. And I'll probably have other people taste test it too, just to see, on that one and everything. Sorry about that brief intermission or brief pause. I had to check the fire and it was getting cold in here and stuff. I was like, brr, because it's, with the weather out there, it's definitely cold. And back in the time, I can imagine what pioneers and stuff did when they lived in old cabins and stuff. Brr, thumbs up, old pioneers. I know that they're gone and past, but our ancestors, they were tough birds. Yes, it was. So where were we? Let's see. Oh, sourdough. Sorry. Did you know that bread is older than metal? Yes, especially sourdough. The oldest loaf of bread was dated back 3,700 BC. And that oldest bread loaf was discovered in Switzerland. Yeah, but it is to believe that the Egyptians were the ones that, helped create the sourdough and everything, because of course they knew how to ferment things. They knew how to ferment bread and beer, so I guess it goes hand in hand and everything. But and since the COVID outbreak, more people are into cooking sourdough bread. Ooh, there goes my tripod. Sorry. Even the tripod don't like the cold. Whoa, sorry. I lost connection there. It fell again. Oh my goodness. So where was we? Oh yeah, sourdough and talking about the Egyptians and stuff. And did you know since the pandemic, more people are into making sourdough, and there's all kinds of things on the web, and there's even Facebook pages about sourdough and making bread and stuff. So, the interest is up because since the modern times, before COVID, then people weren't as interested in making sourdough because it is a process, because you have to wait 5 to 7 days for the sourdough starter to become good on the fermentation process. And even you have to let the bread rise. You have to knead the bread and let it rise, and it can take 24 hours or longer. So a lot of people don't have time for that. But since the COVID and people was baking at home, and still more people are still working at home and stuff, now there's more interest in cooking sourdough bread, and that's really neat to let history survive with the sourdough bread and the sourdough starters. So in this next in this next part of the video, I'm going to show you the process of how this all started, or how I did the sourdough starter. And it's pretty simple. This is the Black Death 400-year-old sourdough starter times 2. It's only supposed to be 1, but I had 2. So I'm going to double up the recipe. First, you cut open the packet and put only in a clean glass or plastic, never metal, because it interferes. 1 cup of sugar, normally only supposed to be half. 1 cup of flour, normally only supposed to be half. This is the flour I use, Pride of the Prairie. It's really good, naturally sweet wheat. 1 cup of water, normally only supposed to be half. You stir it very well. Put the lid on top or put plastic wrap on the container. Day 2, you just stir it that day. And they say what I just said, you just stir it on the 2nd day. And then you replace the lid. Now these are the directions for the 3rd day. You can read along or pause. Look at those bubbles. You add the same amount of flour and water as the first day. Now I messed up and I only added half the amount, but I realized that later on. And you stir as you did the first day. I did put this in before I dubbed it. You do put it in a warm spot, and the microwave was the warmest spot for me. Of course, I took it out when I used the microwave each time. This is the 4th day, and you repeat the process over again. Same amount of water and flour as the previous days. You stir it all up. It's kind of looking not as, And now look at the bubbles. The bubbles are looking better, and you put it in the lid on, and then you put it in a warm place again. And on the 5th day, it's kind of looking not so bubblish, but it's running out of food source. This is when I remembered I forgot to add the required amount of flour and water. So what I did was I just added more flour and more water. I did the math, and then it was all right, but it's still bubbling after you stirred it, so. And of course, this still wasn't enough, so I kept adding more and stirring more until the consistency, because even the smell was a little off. But once I did those things, it was perfect. And now look at it. It overfilled. That's what I wanted. Not overflowing that much because I had to clean the microwave, but hey. So there you have it. That's how you make sourdough starter from the dehydrated form. And I'm just real excited about getting the other ones and experimenting. And here's the next step, is making the pancakes that I'm going to choose to make. Well, here is the pancake mix recipe that I'm making here. It's called the overnight sourdough pancake, or the overnight sourdough pancake. Well, I thought I had recorded the whole thing on how I put it together. I'm starting out, but it must have got deleted or I wasn't recording it. Oh well, I can't put those back in. All the ingredients are already mixed in. But here's the directions. You gotta add, or I'll just let you look at this and pause if you want to. Or I'll just go ahead and tell you how it's made. Let's put it down here. Or let me put it in a different light. Let me put it over here where the light is better. Sorry about that. Let's see here. You add 1 cup of sourdough starter. It can be active and bubbly or the discarded. Because whenever you make sourdough starter, you have to, whenever you discard some, to add it on some of the directions. This one here, you didn't have to discard any to feed it, but in other sourdough mixes, they ask you to discard and then put more in to feed it. But this one here didn't need it, and you know. So here we go. With the 1 cup of sourdough starter, you add 2 eggs, 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil or melted butter. I used olive oil instead of extra virgin, and 1 cup of milk. And then that's your wet ingredients for overnight. And then the dry overnight ingredients is 1 1/2 cup of flour. Use freshly milled flour or just regular flour. 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt. And that here is the directions for the overnight ones is in a large bowl, add 1 cup of activated yeast or active sourdough starter. You don't add yeast because sourdough starter is like a yeast. You add the 2 eggs, the 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, and 1 cup of milk. Stir until everything is well combined. And then step 2 for the dry ingredients, add the flour, the sugar, the sea salt, and stir until there are no lumps or only a few small lumps left. And then you have to cover the bowl with plastic wrap and then place it in the fridge to ferment overnight. And then the next step is what I'm going to do now. In the morning, you have to, the next morning, take the pancake batter out of the fridge and sprinkle the morning ingredients on top. That's 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, and 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. I think I'm going to leave out the cinnamon and I'm going to leave out the nutmeg because, you know, those are just extras. You can add them if you want them. Stir in the ingredients and allow the batter to sit for 5 minutes. The batter will begin to bubble and aerate. And while you are waiting for the sourdough pancake batter to bubble, heat a cast iron skillet or non-stick pan over medium to medium low heat. Add butter or the oil to the pan once it is preheated. Then add the sourdough pancake batter to a hot pan and cook on one side until you see the edges pull up, then flip the pancakes. Serve warm with your favorite toppings and enjoy. So here we go. Here's the next process of adding all the, you know, the day after or the morning after, and the cooking process on that. Well, I am gonna let you know that I am not waiting till the next morning because I've got something that I've got to do that can't be mixed. mist, sorry. But I am gonna just add the baking soda and stuff now and just see how it goes. It'll probably be just fine because this is a very active starter anyway. So let's see here. First, we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 2 teaspoons full of baking powder, 1, 2, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. There we go, there's the extract. And like I said, I'm just gonna leave the cinnamon and everything out of it, and then we're just gonna stir it, and then we're gonna wait 5 minutes after we stir it and see what it does. Here it is after I stirred it. Now just to wait 5 minutes. Well, look at that. There's already, before I push pause here, there are already bubbles forming. Wow, look at that. So I don't think it's not necessary to wait overnight and let ferment with this sourdough starter. So far, I'm very impressed. We will see. And yes, I made a mess like I always do. It wouldn't be me if I didn't make a mess. Okay, 5 minutes is almost up. I'm getting the butter melted in the pan. Yummy. With my good old-fashioned, good health cast iron skillet. It's one of my favorite skillets. It does have some scratches and dents, but this is how I bought it, and you know what? It has been one of the best cast iron skillets there is. And you're normally never supposed to use metal on your cast iron skillets, but this is my favorite turner, and this is an old vintage pancake turner. Look at that. I mean, it's perfect. So I'm just going to be careful when I use it on my cast iron skillets. It's always the first pancake that doesn't look as pretty. Smells real good. Oh my goodness, it smells so good. I can't wait to taste that. So here we go, the first bite. Wow. Well, that was a success. I think I'm going to let the rest of it sit in the refrigerator all night long. And even though I got something to do tomorrow, I'm going to come back in the afternoon and possibly the evening and make that for like breakfast for nighttime, which is always good. I always love breakfast for nighttime dinner. It's always the best. It'd probably even taste better then and all that. Well, the next part of the video will show you what we did on the very coldest of days. -10, wind chills of -30. It felt like brr and everything. So here's the rest of the video. Ooh, look at that temperature. Brr. Brr, 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 brr. outside. Let's go inside. Oh. Come on, you two. Let's go inside. Let's go inside. Let's go inside. You guys don't have to come and see it. It's right there in the snow. Hi, Bob. It's frozen in here. I can't clean this poop up because it's frozen.
Yeah, there's no clean anything in here right now. I just gotta put some hay right in here. Steal some of your hay, kid, and you gotta put some in there right here.
Is there any eggs in there today? That gives them just enough ventilation and protection from the wind. You see, that's not 100%. So there is definitely ventilation there too. It is cold.
You don't have your cycle eyes right now. Too cold in it, bud. Yep. Whew. Maybe that'll help a little bit up there. These plywood across the window. Help a little bit more, maybe. I get some insulation in between the, no, I stapled that on, never mind. I guess I won't. I put nails up there on that one insulation board.
Is my peaches cold? Is my peaches cold? Yes, she is.
Good day, welcome.